Good morning, everybody. It's me, Santi. I have one more for you. I like this one too. This one's very cool, especially considered that I had the other piece that goes with him for a long time. It doesn't go with him, but it deals with him. So I like this. I think you'll like it too. You've probably seen him before. I don't think he's an old figure, but he's new for me, right? So hopefully you guys will like it. So to give me a second, we'll start off with obviously the box. And there it is. That tells you who it is. This is, of course, the U.S. 2nd Armored Division Staff Sergeant Wardaddy, M4A3 Sherman Tank Commander. Wardaddy was played by Brad Pitt. His name was Don Collier is the character's name, but everybody called him Wardaddy. Wardaddy would be his nickname. This is a figure made, of course, by Facepool. I like the box. Shows him in a nice pensive pose. I think that's very cool. The side, basic, just says the same thing, U.S. 2nd Armored. And this side, of course, says the same thing, U.S. 2nd Armored. The back, cool. I like this stuff. I think it's very nice. You know, you can see him here. It's different poses, different ways they have them, right? I like that. That's very cool. So it's a very cool box. Doesn't have much in it, you know. It's a basic. Hold on one second. I had to open it up here for a second, but as you see, it came with some hands that had the leather gloves. Real leather. They were already in there. Thank God I didn't have to put them, but I didn't want to put them on him. I just didn't think that they looked right. He also came in with this bayonet, and this bayonet has this little piece of metal here, right? That I guess I'm supposed to bend down to hook it onto something, but it kept falling off, so I didn't put it on. I didn't put it on him. Let's see if I can pull that out there. Hold on. No? Well, I guess I can't. That's okay. But that's the bayonet that came with him. I'm going to put that right in here. It also came with this, which would be a speaker that goes connected to the tank. Right? I would just unspool the cable. It would go from the tank to, I gather to say, his helmet. You know, it's not a speaker, it's a handset. Actually, it's not a speaker, it's a handset. And the wires would go connected to the tank's commo, which I'm going to also guess would go connected to his headset. The PTT push to talk. I think that is very, very cool. Very cool. But give me a second and we'll get to him. Hold on. Boom. There's the figure. Do I like it? Yes, I do. I think it is very cool. Very cool. Simple. I had to do almost nothing to put it together. But I do like it. And you'll see why in a minute. Let's start with the bottom. With his tank of woods. Now, the stand I had to make, I had to buy that separate. And all I did was some glue and some sand on it. Some dirt. To make it look like the ground. The boots, they feel like real leather. They do. I like the way they're strapped on there. So I think that's very cool. You know? I think that it's very cool, those boots. He has a little, like a messenger bag thing, which I think was kind of nice also, the way they have it on him. The way they have it for him with the gloves. Now, these gloves are not leather. They're hard plastic. They look like leather, but they're the hard plastic. You can't bend them. I thought they would look a lot better than than the other ones just flopping around. I didn't like that. Um, he has a shoulder holster. Let's get this out. With what they call in the old days sweetheart grips, I think it was. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, they would call them sweetheart grips. Why? Because a lot of the guys would take their grips, old grips, and put pictures of girls or their sweethearts on it. As you can see right there. See? Small, I'm going to guess that's a 38, but that's very cool the way they did that, you know? I like that. I do like that a whole bunch. And that goes right there into the holster. Hold on. So he got his jeans, his trousers, and his top, green. You know, basic. That's all it is. I do like the jacket. It has a nice feel to it. You know, it's heavy, and I think it's very cool looking on him, right? Machine gun. Yeah, that looks good. I think they did that very nice. You know? Hold on one second here again. And there's his rifle. Let's get some more light on that. See if we can get some more light on that. He's got a dot on it. The sling. Isn't that nice? It's not wood. It's not wood, it's all plastic. But still, I think that's really cool. You know? Like a molded type of plastic. You can see the sights up there, the front sight. The selector switch. You know? I think that's very cool. Oops. I like that. I like that a lot. His shoulder holster, where is he? Where is he? His shoulder holster. Sorry, I messed up on that one. Right? And here on his helmet, his tanker's helmet. That kind of looks like Brad Pitt, a worried Brad Pitt. But you can see his helmet there. More like a bump helmet. Right? You can see the for the combos right there. And this cable would go connected to that handset, I'm gonna guess. Which would in turn go connected to the tank combo. You know. Did they use Prick 77s back in those days? I don't know. They probably did. Of course, with a different name. And then he's got the sand goggles on it. Right? Overall, great figure. It looks like Brad Pitt. I think. You know? Hang loose. Let me see if he take off his hat. Hold on. So there he is, yeah. It looks like him. I like it. I think it's really cool. You know, if you notice the rifle, I have him holding it by the magazine. And the reason for that is because I really can't get his hands to grip around the pistol grip. It doesn't really hold it. Because the buttstock here keeps bumping into his elbow. And I didn't want to break anything and put any undue pressure. But, so I have him holding it like that. I think it looks pretty cool. I think he looks real nice. And here, of course, I have him with the tank. I didn't paint Fury on it. But there he is standing by the tank. And the tank that he drove in the movie, or that he commanded in the movie, was the M4 Sherman also. I think it was the M4 Sherman, which is this. So, there he is. That came out pretty cool. He's a nice figure. Like I said, basic. Nothing to put together. You know? I mean, you just put the helmet on his head, you put his jacket on, and the bag. And of course, you sling his rifle to his shoulder. So it took about 13 minutes. But, so, that's what we have here, folks. Staff Sergeant Don Collier, Wardaddy, Fury. Right? It's him right there. Here he is looking at us while he relaxes on his tank. Well, that's it for now, guys. I think it really is nice. That's a nice figure. It took about 15 minutes to make, to put together. There's really nothing to it, but it's good for the collection. I do like it. It goes well with the tank. So I think it's a good ad. It's a good ad, you know. But so leave a thumbs up and a like. Leave a comment. If you don't like it, leave a comment. Subscribe to your friends. Subscribe that like this kind of stuff. But we'll keep on making what we can. Okay, folks. So thank you all for watching. This is Santi, and I'm out.